Heflin citizens met with city officials yesterday to tell them what kind of downtown businesses they want to see.
Below normal temperatures will continue for the next several days across East Alabama. We'll have the complete weekend forecast straight ahead.
Coming up, we'll check in with the Jacksonville Golden Eagles ahead of that big matchup with Anniston tomorrow night. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wedowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Hello, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Thursday, September 14th, 2023. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
Retail development was the topic of conversation Wednesday afternoon as Heflin officials took members of the public on a walking tour of available properties in the downtown area. Heflin Main Street Director Tammy Perry says the tour followed a day of meetings with planners who specialize in the development of new businesses in older buildings.
We have met with public officials. We met with representatives from construction companies. We met with our zoning board members, and we've included different vacant business owners. And we just kind of went around town, and our main focus was on the vacant or underutilized properties.
Perry says more than a dozen people showed up for the walking tour, and Heflin officials take their input very seriously.
I think just seeing that we're working for them and listening to them for what their wants and needs are for our Main Street. And I like that they can see what we're doing and the direction we're going and that what we want also.
Among the officials taking the tour with the public was State House Representative Chad Robertson, who says he learned a lot during the meeting.
It helps give us ideas on what would be welcome into the community, what ideas that people have other than business owners. Business owners, of course, are included, but kind of gives everybody an idea of what the interest is out there. So if it's a clothing shop or a donut shop or a music shop, we can get a pulse on what the locals are wanting and figure out how we can facilitate that. Maybe approach business owners that are wanting to invest or to make a non-business owner into an entrepreneur.
The walking tour was similar to others organized throughout the state by Main Street Alabama, which is helping communities draft realistic plans for developing new businesses. Joe Borgstrom is a consultant working on the project, and he says the public often brings many good ideas to community leaders.
We're going to walk along the downtown. We've got about 5 to 7 properties that we picked out. And we're just going to kind of blue sky, ask folks to figure out what they would like to see in those spaces. And my job as the consultant in all this is to be able to kind of mix that with market reality. So one, we want to get everyone's opinions on what they want to see, and then it's my job to kind of add that filter later about, all right, what's actually viable, between people's opinions and what the market will bear.
When we come back, an Anniston businesswoman receives a state award for her success.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Ann Welch, the owner and operator of Nunnally's Noble and Frame Gallery in downtown Anniston, has been named the Silver Alabama Retailer of the Year in the annual sales of less than $1 million category. Welch bought the business in 1995, and she's been successful for years. But she says that the Retailer of the Year award was based on what she accomplished in 2022.
Just a lot of things came together. different things affected it. A lot of frame shops have been closing over the years due to big box competition, that type of thing. And then, we had an opportunity with COVID going on. We, were able to take a second look at strategy, and we feel like we just offer the best customer service that there is. So with all the things that we do and the other circumstances, I think it just came together that it got us off to a good start. So 2022 was our best year, and we hope that we surpass that in 2023.
Some of the strategies that she implemented last year include setting challenging production goals, adding services of design and layout, promoting professional installation, and securing a consultant to review pricing. Her team also engaged with opportunities in the community that resulted in several large contracts, such as the one with the new federal courthouse in downtown Anniston. Wells says her business has also benefited from the city's efforts to revitalize its traditional business district.
We have strong support from our leadership at City Hall, and that's what it takes. And we have an active Main Street program and board, and we have a nonprofit, the Spirit of Anniston, that's supportive. And it's sort of coming together. Maybe you can't see the results as much as we can sort of feel them on the inside, but I think within 2 or 3 years that it will be becoming more and more obvious.
The Alabama Retailer of the Year Awards, started in 1999 by the Alabama Retail Association, honor retailers who have demonstrated growth, innovation, and a commitment to their respective communities. This year's winners were selected from 57 entries submitted from a pool of 86 nominees.
When we return, we'll tell you about a Jacksonville church that will open its doors Saturday for local history buffs.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
You have until tomorrow to register for the guided tour of St. Luke's Episcopal Church this Saturday at 10 a.m. This is a free event that will appeal to those interested in Jacksonville history. You can register in person at the library or call 256-435-6332 and register over the phone.
Oxford police are asking for your help finding a 15-year-old boy. Police say Cale Bryant Roberts was last seen Wednesday afternoon around 3 in the Pine Lane area of Oxford. He was wearing red pants and a black shirt at the time. If you have any information about him, please call the Oxford Police Department at 256-835-6133.
Well, this is the time of year that I really wish, mid-September all the way through the end of October, if we could stretch that out and make it last about 90 days, that would be really great for me. I don't know about you.
Well, what we could do is maybe clone those days, right? And then just bring them back in the middle of February when we would enjoy them.
Yes, absolutely. And here to tell us a little bit more about this weather that we are really going to be enjoying over the next few days, I think, is John Holder in the EAN Weather Center. John?
Mike and Katie, the weather's been very calm and peaceful for the last several days, and that will continue with a few chances for a little bit of rainfall from time to time. We'll have the forecast for all of East Alabama next.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Mostly cloudy skies across East Alabama today. That held temperatures down into the low 80s, only 81 today. Some folks stayed actually below 80 degrees today. Very nice out there with a little bit of scattered light rainfall and some clouds across East Alabama. Our morning low this morning, 65. That's the average, a little bit below average actually for our high temperatures, and that's going to be the theme for the next several days. Record high temperature, 96 degrees. That was set in both 2016 and 2018. The record low, 48 degrees. And today, I should say, we're taking about 3 minutes off the sunrise and sunset times. 6:27, your sunrise on Friday morning, your sunset tonight at 6:51. Weather on your street on a Thursday night. Going to take you out to Woodland Drive in Oxford off Highway 78 West. Lots of clouds tonight. Maybe a little shower out there. 66 for the low overnight down at Oxford on Highway 78. As we move into Friday, weather on your street takes you to Dupree Lane at Welborn. That's right there by Welborn High School and the Hill Football Stadium. The Panthers are at home for homecoming tomorrow night. A lot of festivities going on during the day tomorrow out at Welborn. It will be very nice temperature-wise, only 80 for the high, but a few scattered showers tomorrow afternoon that might pass through. Not an all-day rain, should not affect any of the homecoming activities out at Walter Welborn tomorrow and tomorrow night. And as we look ahead to the weekend across East Alabama, on the square in Jacksonville, always a busy place here in East Alabama. During the weekend, we'll have some sun, we'll have some showers. Temperatures will be in the 80s, all in all below normal temps, but a good weekend coming up across East Alabama. Chance of rain about 50% on Saturday, about 30% on Sunday. As we take a look at the 7-day forecast and take a look at some of those rain chances coming up, about a 40% chance of a shower coming up tomorrow. Pleasant temperatures, though, low 80s all the way through the weekend. 81 on Saturday with a 50-50 chance of showers. Sunday after church, about a 1 in 3 chance of a shower or thunderstorm popping up. Highs remaining in the low 80s. We'll creep up into the mid 80s again by Monday and Tuesday with dry days ahead, but then we're back down into the low 80s again by the middle part of next week. And look at these temperatures. 59 degrees on Monday for the low, 58 on Tuesday morning, 60 on Wednesday. Very, very fine weather coming up all across East Alabama in the next week or so. Let's take a look at where we expect temperatures to go in the next 8 to 14 days. This is extended, and it looks like temperatures are going to remain at or above the average for this time of year. This is actually going to be for the week after next as we look out 14 days. And you see, we don't see any cold weather coming yet as we look to the end of September. It looks like temperatures are going to remain above average after we have these below average temperatures coming for the next several days. Temperatures back on the increase later on in the month of September. Be sure to check out my forecast tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. sharp. Right here, we'll have the complete breakfast and morning forecast for all of East Alabama. Chase Robinson has sports standing by. He will continue to look at that big Jacksonville-Anniston high school football game coming up tomorrow night. Chase?
Thanks, John. There's a lot of excitement this week as Anniston comes to Jacksonville for that big region game and top 10 matchup. The Golden Eagles have started off the year 2-1. That's wins against Alexandria and Boaz. The Golden Eagles suffered a tough loss last week to the now 5th-ranked Handley. Head coach Clint Smith talks about what he has seen from his team so far this season.
Going into that game, the big question mark was could we match their physicality? And at the end of the game, I felt like we did. I felt like we played really well. I know we left it all on the field. Our guys had nothing left in the locker room after the game. And so, proud of the way they played. Not real happy with the result. Of course, we would have wanted to win the game. But, I thought we fought. It was a great atmosphere, a playoff-type atmosphere. And so, I definitely think, if things could have went a little different, we could have won that game. But we didn't. And so, looking at it, the effort was there. I think we executed pretty well for most of the night. A few times we didn't. Got to clean up a few little things, special teams wise, and penalties, things like that. But overall, going into the 4th week, I've been pretty pleased.
Jacksonville quarterback and Troy commit Jim Ogle ready to lead the guys out on the field Friday night. Coach Smith talks about what he has seen from his quarterback and his offense so far.
He's done really well. He's been spot on for most of the time, had some great games, threw for 400 last week, and, 250, 300. So, I mean, he's been very consistent. And our wide receivers have done really well, catching the ball and running good routes. And, the big question coming in was that young offensive line, and I think they've done a really good job of protecting him and giving him time to make those throws.
Jacksonville will take the field on Friday night in what is expected to be an electric home atmosphere. How about the Golden Eagles' first homecoming game on that new turf? Jacksonville last year was defeated by the Bulldogs on the road. Coach Smith sees this year's Anniston team as a big challenge.
On film, you see them, and they're a lot like Hanley as far as the way they look. They're real big up front on both sides of the ball. They've got athletes everywhere. A lot of big play potential. So they're a very good team, and we wouldn't expect anything less. And I think our guys have done a really good job of putting last week behind us and moving forward this week. So should be an exciting night. We get to play at home, so that's good, and so it should be a great playoff type atmosphere Friday.
Here's some high school football games happening tomorrow night. You got Alexandria playing host to Lincoln in a region game. There's that Anniston at Jacksonville. You got Cleburne County hosting Boaz. Donahoe hosts Wadley. You got Glencoe taking on Westbrook Christian. White Plains hosts Handley, who beat Jacksonville last week. You got Hoax Bluff on the road at Geraldine. Munford plays host to Talladega. Top 10 matchup right here is Ohatchee hosts Sylvania. You've got Oxford playing host to Huffman on homecoming. Piedmont on the road at Plainview. You've got Pleasant Valley at Holly Pond. Ranburne hosts B.B. Comer. Ragland plays host to Randolph County. Sacs at home, they got Dadeville. You got Southside hosting Springville. Spring Garden at home against Victory Christian. Weaver hosts Childersburg. And the Wellborn Panthers play host to Beulah. The Calhoun County Volleyball Tournament is coming up on October 7th. The coaches met last night and decided the tournament seeding. Here's what the coaches decided on. No surprise, really, Alexandria. They're unbeaten in Calhoun County, 21-3 overall. They sit atop the seedings there, followed by Oxford, Ohatchee, Pleasant Valley, the 4 seed, Donahoe 5, Wellborn 6, the Jacksonville Golden Eagles 7. 8 is Faith Christian, Weaver coming in 9, White Plains 10, Piedmont 11, Sacs 12, and Jacksonville Christian the 13th seed. And that's it for sports. Let's send it back over to Mike and Katie.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
You can find us here online every weekday evening on either Facebook or YouTube. Just go to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Friday for your news on your schedule.